All right, on this one, a 16 by 12 rectangle is inscribed in a circle. Find the radius and circumference. So we've got a rectangle inscribed in a circle. 16 and 12. We've done several problems like this. Drawing the diagonal of a circle. The diagonal of a circle also is the diameter of the circle. So 16 squared plus 12 squared equals c squared. And this is another one of our Pythagorean triples because 16 squared plus 12 squared is 400. And the square root of 400 is 20, which means the diameter is 20, which means the radius of the circle is 10, which is one of the things the questions ask. And then the circumference of the circle would be 20 pi. We've done a couple problems like this too. AB is tangent to both circles, which means you have right angle there and a right angle there. So next, we need to figure out what x is. And whenever we do these, we want to try to make a rectangle. Because we have two right angles here, we can have two right angles there. If this is 8, this 8 carries over here, and then that's 10. Rectangles are convenient because opposite sides in a rectangle are equal, so that's also x. Then draw in that connection. You might be a little confused, but remember this is still a radius of a circle. So this is 18 because the radius of this big circle is 18, and this is 8. So you have 18 plus 8, which is 26. So here's your right triangle drawn outside your circle, so it's a little bit easier to see. So then follow your Pythagorean theorem, 10 squared plus x squared equals 26. This also ends up being a Pythagorean triple. It ends up being 24. This one, AD is the diameter of circle EC is the midpoint of our BD. So this is halfway, which means that arc is equal to that arc. And BA is 9x plus 30. And CD is 54 minus x, which means this is also 54 minus x. All these add up to be 180. So first let's add up 54, 54, and 30 to get 138. And then we have 9x minus x minus x, so that would be 7x. And then take away 138 from both sides of the equation, and then divide by 7, so your answer, your x is 6. And I want to find the measure of angle AEC. So I'm looking for that. Okay. So go ahead, plug your x back in. 9 times 6 plus 30 is 84. And then 54 minus 6 for the other one is 48. Then add those two up, and you get 132. Next one. Go ahead and skip this one. I left out some information, so it's kind of impossible. Oops. All right, this next one is also a little tricky. Let's see. AB is 10. BC is 15. AD is 18. You want to find CD. So treat this kind of like the problem we just did. Label a side x. So if that's x, because they're external tangents, and external tangents are always equal. So that's 15 minus x. If that's 15 minus x, this is also 15 minus x. This guy is 10 minus 15 minus x. Well, 10 minus 15 minus x is the same as negative 5 plus x, which means that's negative 5 plus x. If that's negative 5 plus x, then this is 18 minus negative 5 plus x, which means it's 23 minus x, which means this is 23 minus x. On the previous problem that we did like this, they all kind of ended up making it so I could find x. But like, look right here. This is x, and this is negative x. So if I add up those two things, x plus 23 minus x is just 23, which means CD is 20. So the radius equals 8. That's 8 and that's 8. BC is 15 and is tangent to the circle. Find DC. I think that should probably be find AC. Oh, actually, let's do it this way. I think D disappeared from my picture. I think that's DC. So let's go through Pythagorean theorem problem. So I would just find AC. If I find AC, then I can go through and do whatever I need to do. So 8 squared plus 15 squared equals AC squared. 8 squared plus 15 squared is 289. And the square root of 289 is another obscure perfect square. It's 17. So AC is 17. So if this part is 8, then this part is 17. 17 minus 8 is 9. So DC equals 9. Remember, sometimes these problems work out and you actually have to like FOIL, which is not always the funnest.